In this lesson, we'll be looking at the fourth key building block of technical analysis, liquidity. What is it and how to identify it in the markets? For that, I've prepared a new visual illustration to help explain it. We've already learned that a transaction only happens when there's both a buyer and a seller in the market. So liquidity simply means that there are enough market participants willing to take the other side of a trade. We also know that there are retail traders and institutions. Institutions often have a big problem. Their position sizes are so massive that they can't just enter the market all at once. Now we understand why. They need a large number of counterparties to fill their orders. So if there's not enough liquidity at a given price level, the institution can't place their entire position, and that's a problem for them. This whole concept is what we call liquidity. Liquidity is simply the availability of enough opposite orders. And because that's such a challenge for institutions, they have to be very strategic about it. They have to figure out how to create liquidity if it isn't already there. We also learned that retail traders tend to act in predictable ways. For example, when they see a certain candlestick formation, most of them react the same way. That's exactly what institutions use to their advantage. They ask themselves, how can we get retail traders to provide the liquidity we need? In other words, how do we get the retail crowd to take the other side of our trade? In the picture here, we have a market that moved short into a demand zone. Here in this demand zone, the institutions want to place long orders. How do they do it? In this picture here I have for you, we see the market move down into the demand zone. It basically made a range in this demand zone and then moved out long in the opposite direction. So here we already know that the institution wanted to go long and also did here. The thing is, the institutions need liquidity here. In this example here, we see the market moved short into the demand zone and we made a range in this zone. If retail traders want to place a price here, they are told by brokers or free information in the internet to place their stop loss under the previous lows. So we have here and here. Let's say the retailers want to buy. Retail wants to buy. So they put their stop loss there and their stop loss there. Institutions know where they put their stop loss. So what do? They manipulate the market to take their stop losses and then we move up in the other direction, into the long direction. Why do they do it though? If retailers buy a position, they have to sell it in their stop loss. This means the following. If the retailers sell in their stop loss, the institution can buy up their sell position. So they establish their long position they wanted. It works this way. Retailers buy here, wherever, and they put their stop loss under the previous lows. This means if the price moves under this level here, their buy positions move into stop loss. This means in the stop loss, the retailers have to sell. When the retailers sell in their stop loss, another participant can buy. And that's exactly what the institution wants. They want the retailers to move into the stop loss so they can buy all of their positions and then move the market long. That's how they get the retail crowd to take the other side, basically. Once you fully understand liquidity, things will start to make sense. You will stop getting your stop loss hunted only to see the market reverse right after. Because now you start thinking differently. Does it even make sense to enter here and to place my stop loss there? And are there signs that liquidity has already been created and taken for the institutions? That's also why markets often dip deeper into the supplier demand zone before moving away, because it's to trigger the retail stop losses so that institutions can buy or sell more before the real move happens.